All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful but bearish Sunday. Blessings to everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are blessed, as the Bitcoin price is indeed dumping like a wild lady in distress, running through the wilderness with a laundry basket upon her head. This is some crazy stuff right now, guys, as the Bitcoin price is indeed heading right back into what's known as the danger zone. The danger zone, as you can see right here from this chart, is the area below the very key price of $78,221.10, and this is the danger zone between these two green lines. All right, now, yes, as the title of the video says, I lost it all because of Donald Trump. What did I lose all of? I lost all my confidence that his speech last week was going to pump the Bitcoin price. My confidence is totally low. I lost it all because of Donald Trump. All right. Shout out to Donald Dump, baby. Donald Dump dumping the dang Bitcoin all the way down to the underworld. And we got to give major shout out to everybody in the chat right now. And we're going to be taking a look at the charts, and we're going to be talking about what we can expect in the coming weeks, because I'm not going to lie, everything's looking bearish. Stock market's bearish. Crypto's bearish. All right. Tariffs are bearish. The bearish tariff. And here's something else, guys. You know, as we've been talking about the Bitcoin price coming down to these levels. All right. Make sure to smash the likes, by the way. We've been saying, and I've been saying, look, this green box needs to hold. All right. The green box needs to hold. And obviously right now, it is not holding. All right. Now, shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to Jason Mayer. Shout out to Leo. He says, good for you, Jason. I lost all my money in savings. Well, I hope that's not true, okay? And if it is true, stick around the channel, because you will learn how to actually make money in these markets. And I hope it's not true, okay? I really hope it's not true. So yeah, here we are, dumping down. Shout out to Alpha Panda. He says, Alpha Panda said, wee! Seriously. CryptoFace, did he long today? CryptoFace is the GOAT, though. Seriously, CryptoFace makes money no matter what happens in these markets. Major shout out to Lancelot777. What's up? Blessings to you in the name of Yeshua, King of Kings. He is good when we are not. Amen, bro. Thank you, bro, for the comment. I appreciate it. Shout out to Davey Ingram. Shout out to Revuleto. Danger Zone, baby. Shout out to Hopium Copium. Bull Run was cute. Shout out to Preparing for War. Bitcoin isn't tanking because people are selling off their Bitcoin. Global markets are tanking, so the standard is dropping. Man, things are getting scary and hairy out there. All right, things are getting scary and hairy. Shout out to Who Are You? He says, nice bull run. Yeah, well, look, guys, look. Here's the deal. First of all, if we can get 1,500 likes in the first half hour, we will be giving away $1,000. So make sure to smash up the likes, because I'm pretty sure, do we have that many people in here just yet? I'm not sure, but if we can get 1,500 likes, we'll be giving away $1,000. All right. Secondly, guys, got to give a major shout out to BLOFIN, right now offering their juicy 10% cash back, which I don't have a picture of, but they do have their juicy 10% cash back. Man, the short trades are on fire, man. Shout out to Donald Trump for the volatility, honestly, man. Shout out to DT for the V. You got to shout out DT for the V, if you know what I mean. All right, let's talk about the danger zone. Let's talk about the bull market. Is the bull market over? What do you guys think? All right, put a 1 in the chat if you think the bull market is over. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you think the bull market is over. Let's see what you guys think. All right. Don't sell at a loss. Guys, don't sell at a loss. Haven't you learned anything from the past 12 years since Bitcoin's been a thing? Don't sell at a loss, man. Come on, man. You're making me sound like our good friend, old Uncle Joe, who some people are missing him.
Now, let me be clear. I've been dead since 2019, and every time you see me on TV, it's either been a deep fake or a body double. But the science is settled. This is all Trump's fault.
Man, too bad he's been dead since 2019 anyway. So a lot of people say, all right, bull market's over, bull market's over. All right, one person, Jed G, says, the dip before the rip. The dip before the rip. Okay, so a lot of people think it's over. Prepare for us as a temporary bear market. Well, what do you mean by a temporary bear market? I mean, all bear markets are temporary, bro. You know, all bear markets are temporary. Okay, so let's discuss. This is very, very important. What is happening right now for Bitcoin is extremely important as we are entering into the danger zone once again. Oh man, I can't believe it's happening. So basically, since 2022, all right, we got to go back in history. Let's look at this objectively here. Let's not let our emotions get the best of us. Although I am freaking out a little bit. I'm hyperventilating. Relax, Jason. They're going to put you back in the institution. Remember what your therapist said when you start hyperventilating. Take the nose clip, secure it tightly out the nose, take the plunger, do some deep breathing exercises. Okay, we're good to go, baby. Now, this is the most serious TA channel you'll ever see in your life. Ever since we started this uptrend, right, you can see that we have the pattern of the sideways range and the pump. The sideways range, the pump. The sideways range, and then the pump. The sideways range, and then the pump. And then the sideways range, and then the pump. And then the sideways range. Okay, now here's the thing. We are at a crucial moment. The reason why this is called the danger zone is because this danger zone is either going to give us the massive bounce that takes us to our new sideways and pump, or we're going to see a change of character of this entire uptrend. Because if you notice, at the worst case fakeouts in the past, we simply just back tested perfectly the support resistance flip that we made from like this high in January 2024 to August 5th, 2024, right? Perfect back tests. In fact, right here, you can see we had this high, we made a perfect back test, right? So this is the danger zone. If we don't make a back test here, guys, and we come back into this old range, that is the danger zone. We have seen a change in this uptrend. Now, we have not seen the change yet. Things are bearish fundamentally because of the tariff business. Markets are tanking, stock market's tanking. We haven't seen anything like this since 2020. All right, now I do want to talk about the possibility of a bullish black swan event. Shout out to Captain Happy, who says lots of buying opportunity. You know, personally, I'm not buying any of this dip. This is just my own personal thing here. I'm not buying any of this dip. All right, the dip is going to have to be a lot dippier for me to start to buy. It's not serendipity enough for your boy, JC, up in here. I'm not feeling serendipity enough, okay? So, let's talk about the potential here of a big capitulation, all right? Because we do have to understand that right now, especially, and again, the markets are closed, but, you know, look at how the S&P 500 closed. And this is the futures market, by the way. But look at how this thing closed on Friday. Okay, this is crazy. Let's just kind of clear off all our RTA here on the ES Mini Futures. Let's just kind of clear this off a little bit. But this is the daily candle for Friday. You know, it's crazy because we did bounce from our Fibonacci Golden Pocket support. We just made a lower high and then sliced right through like a hot knife through butter. And honestly, if we're going to be looking at this chart, I'd say that our next support on the S&P, on the ES Mini Futures at least, is going to be just under 5,000, okay? Which means when this market opens in a few hours, we could potentially see here, especially given the fact that crypto's dumping, I don't want to say another 5-6%, but that is a major support resistance flip. And we also have, yeah, it's a major support resistance flip, guys. It's coming back to the January 2022 high, all right? Also, we have the liquidity right here and right here to be taken as well. So if this starts to happen, stock market continues to dump, that's also kind of bearish for crypto in general. It's pretty crazy to see the stock market dumping like this. Let's check out gold. Even gold's taking a little tumble. So everything's just falling in unison. Let's check out the dollar. Man, the dollar, head and shoulders, broke down. We hit the target perfectly. And we're starting to get a little bit of a bounce on the dollar. Guys, keep your eyes on the dollar in a few hours. I think about 3-4 hours maybe 5 hours, depending on what time zone I'm in, which I don't even know anymore because my life is that crazy, okay? Watch how these things open, okay? Watch how these things open. Man, that's crazy. So Bitcoin, right? If we're going to see stock market continue to dump, if we don't hold this green box that I'm seeing right here, which is our zone between $79,000 and $81,000, then to me, it's just most probable that we do take the low that we made from March 11th, 2025, and we dip into this box here. Now, this box here between $69,000 and $73,000, if we have some kind of major, I don't know, like bearish event or capitulation type thing that happens, this box here is going to be my determining line in the sand as to what I do for Bitcoin. If we dip into this box or below and then reclaim the box, for me, that is bullish. I'm just going to be honest with you. A big drop into that area and then a move back up above that area, to me, this is very bullish because, again, this is such a major support resistance level that we're talking like basically from March 2024 all the way until October 2024. All right. So 7 months, more than half a year of price action. This was our major resistance. So coming back to this level is super, super key. If we can't reclaim that level, then I have to say that the probabilities are we are going to see Bitcoin now trading within this old range from last year, from 2024 once again. We're going to see Bitcoin trading back within this old range. Why do I say that? Because when any asset forms a fair value zone like we did here, and then breaks out and starts trading in a new fair value zone, as we did up here, and we lose that fair value zone, if we come into the old fair value zone, you will see that the price respects those levels once again. This is no different than what we saw in the last bull run. Take a look at the last bull run. We formed this fair value zone. We broke out, created a new fair value zone. We lost that, came to the downside, and then we traded perfectly respecting the old fair value zone before another big break and another all-time high. So everybody has to make their own decisions when it comes to how they're playing these markets right now. But for me, there's two scenarios I'm looking for right now, and both are assuming that we're going to see another all-time high on Bitcoin. Okay, so I am going to be leaning a little bit more bullish just because I personally feel it in my bones that even if things are continuing to be bearish for the next few years, that Bitcoin loves to wreck everybody. All right. For example, look at what happened over here. Okay. The top, you could argue that the top was in right here. If you had sold all your Bitcoin right here in March 2025, March 2021, you basically sold the top, right? You sold the top. But Bitcoin loves to wreck everybody. I mean, look, it was just, if you had shorted that perfect top right there, just stop hunt and then drop, right? This is what Bitcoin loves to do. Look at this, you had bought here, you essentially bought the bottom in June 2022, but Bitcoin loves to wreck everybody. Just stop hunt and then bam, right? So I have a feeling we could see something similar to that, and it would set us up for the top of the Bitcoin price. But if we're going to come down below 67,000, I would be looking then for a bounce down toward the low 50s, honestly. Low 50s for the bounce, higher high, hopefully. And then we could drop it for a real bear market, okay? For a real bear market. But for right now, as we are watching this stuff play out, we need to be watching because, look, first of all, it's a weekend. We know there's a lot of hanky-panky on the weekends. All right, the market makers and like normal traditional traders. I know it sounds crazy for us crypto guys, but like normal traders who trade like traditional markets, they have these weird things called lives and like these other weird things called friends and like families, and they like do stuff that's not trading. I know I couldn't even believe it when I first heard about it either. Like they actually take time away from the charts. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't know how that is. Like, I can't even sit on the toilet without looking at the charts. It's, I think it's going to be a quick look at the chart. Turns out 2 hours, next thing you know, my legs are asleep. I can't get up off the toilet anyway. My legs got the pins and needles. And, it's a horrible experience, okay? But we are currently, as this Sunday is happening, right now, we are holding this 786 for now. For now. If we can hold this for now, guys, or if we can hold this for now, it actually does look kind of nice. Now, I'll be honest with you. We have our 786. We have our daily level. This is actually the last hope of support that I have here on my chart before I expect those lows to be taken out. It's happening on a Sunday. It's not really the best time to happen And according to Market Cipher B, we're not really seeing the best signals for that to happen either, given the money flow here getting lower on our 12-minute time frame. But if we're going to lose and close the candles now below this box, especially on the daily, then I expect that we take out 76,004 and come down into this last box area. This is a very key zone, and the reason why is because if this was a real low, all right, and it may be, right? I thought it was. I'm actually still long from that low, believe it or not, right? I'm actually still long from that low. From the setup that we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, I'm still holding that long trade because if I see something from this box, my plan actually is to add to that long, right? I'm still in that long. Setup was given in advance in the Casper Crew, JasonCasperTrading.com. By the way, if you want to trade on MEXC, best deal on fees, link in the pinned comment description. Also, BLOFIN, 10% cash back, $1,000 future bonus, all that stuff, link in the description, right? But if we are now going to get our bounce from this box here, this could be a higher low, right? It could be. The reason I say that is because this was a key support, and this is the retracement in between the golden pocket and this 786. So if you're going to make a higher low and continue in an uptrend, this is really the last hope support here. If we're going to lose this box, then yeah, it's most probable the lows get taken out. Now, I want to do some top-down analysis here. I want to take a look at Market Cipher B on these time frames. Make sure to smash the likes. We've got over 2,000 people in the house. Only 450 likes. I set a timer. Let's see if we can. We got 6 minutes. If everybody likes the video in 6 minutes, not even everybody, we're giving away $1,000. All right, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. $1,000 giveaway. Let's see how our oscillator's looking here. First of all, the one encouraging thing here, the one of the few encouraging things, is this money flow on the daily, which is getting higher. All right. Something that's quite scary is the fact that we do have this hidden bearish divergence that has confirmed here. Looking pretty bad. All right, not gonna lie, it looks pretty bad. The momentum wave on the daily looks like more downside is wanted. We go to our 4-hour time frame, and something that concerns me here is the fact that, you know, we had some really nice bull div here on the 4-hour. Really nice bull div, which culminated in the Donald Trump tariff speech. And now we're dumping down, and money flow is coming back down again, and the shape of these momentum waves are not very good, right? It looks like still more downside is possible. Now, I want to be very, very clear here. If we hold from the green box, if we start to close candles, 4-hour candles, daily candles, above my green box here, this could actually turn into another drive of bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. But we can't know yet, because right now, this momentum wave definitely has more room to the downside. Okay, it definitely has more room to the downside. So for me, this is kind of a wait and see kind of thing. If you're not a scalper, if you're like a ninja scalper, then maybe we're longing that 786 and we're getting a little bounce. But when it comes to like the long-term stuff, we want to see the actual bounce happen, and we want to see the 4-hour time frame actually starting to curve and give us that divergence, so we can have the confidence that, okay, we had our first divergence at the low. Now we have our second divergence at the major Fibonacci retracement, and that can give us more confidence that we can actually get a move here up to at least 90.3, and then potentially up to our major resistance at $97,000, right? Because if we're going to continue in an uptrend from this initial low with our bullish divergence, this is where it has to happen. So we need to wait and see if the price action is actually going to give us that bounce here, or if it's not, right? We can't front run it now because it's a Sunday, especially it's a Sunday. Sunday, low volume, and a lot of times Sunday lows and highs get taken. Now, I do want to say one last thing here. When you have a key level, like right here, 78,536, this is actually a daily level here, all right? When you have a daily level like this, and the price comes really close to it, but doesn't actually get the bounce, but really close, and starts to bounce like this, I'd say 7 out of 10 times, 70% chance, we just fall right through it. All right. Sometimes it just so happens that was the bottom and we just make higher highs and higher lows. Whoop, we missed it, right? But most of the time, when you front run the level like that and start to get a bounce, we come right through it like a hot knife through butter that's been sitting out all day outside in the sun in the 90-degree temperature. You can't even tell it's butter anymore. All right? Doesn't look like butter, just looks like a giant yellow puddle of goodness, because of course your butter's always yellow because you buy Kerrygold, because the marketing is so good. It's like real grass-fed cows from Ireland. Wow, sounds great. Now it's probably produced in some kind of weird factory, right? That stuff probably comes out of a rusty old pipe full of lead. That's why it's yellow. But the marketing is what makes me buy it, right? So it works for them, it works for me too, because I feel good about it, you know? Feel like I'm eating something natural. Yeah, no worries, it's got tons of saturated fat clogging on my arteries, you know? I don't even believe in saturated fat anyway, man. I don't even believe in cholesterol anyway, man. I'm a carnivore, baby. We just eat as much cholesterol and saturated fat as we want. It's good for you, man. Now, just kidding, I'm a total vegan. I'm 100% vegan. I only eat vegetables. Raw vegan. I only eat raw fruits and veggies, man. Where do I get my protein? Man, you know how much protein's in broccoli? Just kidding, man. Nah, I'm a straight carnivore. Just kidding. I don't eat vegetables. You know those things will kill you, right? With the oxalates coming at you, trying to get you, make your intestines full of gas so you fart in everyone's face. So as we were saying, let's take a look at the order flow, actually. Shall we take a look at the order flow? Shall we take a look at the order flow? Yeah, let's take a look at the order flow. While we wait on the order flow, let's take a look back at our Bitcoin trade here. Up $20,000 in the profit. Let's see. Wow, man, that's nuts. All right. The Butter Factory is only half an hour from the house. You're a carnivore? Shout out to all my carnivores. Shout out to all my vegans. Shout out to all the chemtrails. All right. Shout out to all the chemtrails spraying all that dang whatever they're spraying up there. All right. Okay, yeah. Let's check out the order flow here and see what's actually happening in these markets with the buying and the selling. Man, you want to get people riled up, talk about diet. Oh my goodness. Well, by George, put me on a tractor and call me Aunt Sally and invite over my uncle for breakfast, because when we take a look at this order flow, man. All right. Am I long or short on this trade? I'm in a long and a short, but here's the deal. Man, we saw quite a few shorts opening up. 2.4 plus, let's say 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 million, 10 million, 11 million, 12 million, 13, 14, 15 million shorts opening here. 15 million shorts opening here. Wow. And now we're seeing 3, 4, let's say 9.2 million longs opening here. So we're potentially about to squeeze some shorts here, potentially. We have 15 million shorts open, give or take. We have about 9 million longs trying to open here. There is a big increase of open interest right now. This is quite interesting. Let's zoom out here and actually go to our 4-hour chart and take a quick look at what's happening. Now that's our timer to see if we can do a $1,000 giveaway. Let's see. Do we have the likes? Wow, we have half the likes to do a $1,000 giveaway. All right. Man, this is the craziest thing in the world. Seriously, man. Shout out to Donald Dump.
Now, let me be clear. I've been dead since 2019, and every time you've seen me on TV, it's either been a deep fake or a body double. But the science is settled. This is all Trump's fault.
Make sure to like and subscribe to Jason Casper. He's the best YouTube trader in the world. He's getting huge. Shout out to the Casper crew.
Yeah, okay, so I just want to check and see if we have any kind of like major bullish divergences coming in here. Let's see. From the low. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. We could be forming some bullish divergence here. CVD bullish divergence, because we are seeing like quite a few shorts opening up here. And open interest is quite flat. But depending on what happens here, we could classify this as a very large bullish CVD divergence. All right, there's just something to keep in mind here. Where as long as we don't take this low, we're seeing a lot more short, well, not really a lot more, but we're potentially going to see more shorts opening here than what we saw opening here, which could signal some absorption, which could give us a move to the upside, which could allow us to get our bounce from here, our higher low, and then a pump up to around the $94,000. Could give us that move up to there. Man, oh my goodness, but look at this. Here we are, 79,360. This is quite interesting. Like, we are bouncing from a support. We are seeing quite an interest. People are hitting that buy and sell button. This is not a squeeze right now. I mean, this drop is actually people shorting the crap out of Bitcoin right now. This is crazy. This is ByBit. Let's check a look. We're gonna check a little look at Binance, baby. Binance, baby. Check a little look at Binance, baby. Oh my goodness. Wow. 91 million shorts opening up. 198 million shorts. All right. It's either 198 million people with their $1 short order on Binance futures, or it's one giant whale entering a $200 million position on Binance to push the price down. And what's interesting here on Binance is the shorts are definitely in control. We are not seeing the buyers come in like we are on ByBit right now. This is massive amounts of shorting on a weekend. This is crazy, guys. Okay, so what day is today? The 6th? All day today, literally all day since 9 in the morning, especially on Binance, we have seen just shorts, hundreds of millions of shorts. Oh my goodness, man. It's like you're going to Walmart through the dang shorts section. The cotton shorts from the shelf, you know? Man, that takes me back to the day when I used to wear only Walmart clothes. I wear those Walmart gym shorts. And I go through the short section and see millions and billions and billions and millions, you know? But, man, this is crazy. We are dumping, man. We are dumping right now. I can't believe people are trying to blame Donald Trump either. You know, Trump, you know what's funny is I talked to him about this. Here's who he had to blame.
Holy crap, folks, we're dumping, and it's going to be huge. We got a massive red candle on the chart. Kamala Harris and her cronies are at it again. This is what communism will do, folks. We need to get together and make Jason Casper great again. Let me see a blue candle, baby.
Yeah, you know how politics are, man. They got to blame everything on the other side, all right? They got to blame everything on the other side. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. So, yeah, that was a lot of dumping, and you know, we are getting some at least relief and consolidation here. Look, we have been seeing, like I said, hundreds of millions of shorts opening up, literally this entire area. So this could set us up for a very volatile week, man. This could set us up for an extremely volatile week, because think about this. Think about squeezing hundreds of millions of shorts, all right, at the start of the week, to come up to, like, let's just say the local Fibonacci golden pocket, all right, and then another drop to the downside. Or let's pull it from the Trump dump top, right? Let's just say we, like, take these highs from Friday when the week opens and then drop it again, right? Can you imagine something like this happening? This could be setting us up for a very volatile week, because not only did we see, on the weekend of all things, hundreds of millions of shorts opening, setting us up for potentially squeezing hundreds of millions of shorts and grabbing massive amounts of liquidity from Friday. But if we go to our futures chart, we can see that we definitely got ourselves a gap this week. Let's clear off the chart, okay? But our Friday candle closed here on Bitcoin at 84,350. 84,350 is our CME futures gap, which means if we go back to our ByBit chart, oh my goodness, man, that gap is right in this golden pocket up here too. 84,350 is our gap. All right, we got the golden pocket right there as well. That is nuts, man. That is nuts. We could see hundreds of millions of shorts wrecked next week just to come up and fill that gap, ending up making another lower high here, right? This trend line, this little channel thing, and then drop it back down again. Can you imagine that? I'm actually quite interested in that happening, to be honest with you. I am quite interested in seeing that that squeeze happen. And of course, we've got 4 hours left until the daily candle close. Let's see how it's going to happen. This is nuts. This is wild. We're currently bouncing from the only area of support that we have before lower prices. When I look at Market Cipher B here on our 24-minute chart, I do have to say that it doesn't look to me like the bottom is in. The money flow is getting lower here. You can see the money flow getting lower. The momentum wave is getting lower. The 12-minute time frame. Yeah, I don't like the money flow. The only bullish thing I'd say about this is things are so oversold that it could initiate a retracement that leads to a squeeze. It could initiate a retracement that leads to a squeeze, and then we could look for another drop, because honestly, I like to see, for like my bottoms being in, I like to see that nice, juicy, uneven looking butt cheek pattern, right? Left glute, nice and big, right glute, nice and small. Okay, like you're squatting and deadlifting with bad form. Look, you got to stretch out the hip flexors. In my older age, now I'm in my 30s, guys. I'll tell you, I can't just get under a bar and start squatting. All right, I'm gonna break something, man. I gotta warm up. All right, I gotta do hip flexor stretches. I gotta do body weight deep squats, ass to grass. You know, I gotta do maybe some goblet squats. Gotta do maybe some front squats first before I get the heavy bar on my back. You know, maybe some safety squat bar, something that'll open up the hips. You know, get the ankle mobility going, the hip mobility going. Get some bands out. Do some glute bridges and stuff. Okay? Otherwise, you'll end up with a set of uneven butt cheeks. I'm telling you, that right glute just is hesitant to fire. Next thing you know, the left glute's huge, the right glute's small, and you're walking like a crooked old lady through the diner with a cup of coffee, spilling it all over the dang floor on the way to the table. Okay? So yeah, let's see if that happens over the weekend. Gotta give a major shout. Wow, we got 2,500 in the house, baby. That's amazing. Drain the Swamp says $250,000. Brandon Key says, wait till your 40s. Bro, I don't know, man. I hope I make it with the Lord's help. With the Lord's help, Lord, help me make it for my kids' sake, at least. Shout out to Patriot17, bro. That comment made me spit out my chocolate milk through my nose, bro. Shout out to Batu. Shout out to Leverage Sniper. Look at the 45-minute momentum, negative 106. Wow. Wow, that is low. Yeah, this could initiate a retrace that leads to a bit of a squeeze. And like I said, I'm kind of like playing the slow game here, because my plan with this right now, given the fact that I haven't taken any trades today, because I've been holding this long, looking to add at this exact level, right? So right now I've got about $100,000 in the trade here. If I see we're getting a bounce from the box, I'm going to throw another 100,000 in and see if we can't get that move, that potential retrace that leads to a squeeze that yeah, could take us up. Can you believe this? This is pretty nuts. Okay, this is an old chart here, but look at what happened when Trump spoke about the tariffs. Okay, we came up to basically backtest this level to the dang dollar. Isn't that crazy? And then dropped it and made a lower low. This is a real breakdown backtest of a. If you want some good old-fashioned CFTMTA, Carl from the Moon technical analysis, CFTMTA. All right, just good old-fashioned lines on the chart, none of this fancy stuff. I mean, this is Texas textbook as it gets. Rising wedge, bearish, breakdown, backtest to the dollar, drop it, lower low. Man, that is some crazy wild stuff, man. That is some crazy wild stuff. CFTMTA, 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 hi ho the Dario, CFTMTA, 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 hi ho the Dario, CFTMTA. Hey, Carl from the Moon, shout out to you. All right, the next one is 73K, absolutely. 70K, then Moonshot. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, man. This is the danger zone. All right. This is the danger zone, baby, where we're looking basically to come into the danger zone, because if we don't get the moonshot from the danger zone, baby, we are coming down to the low 50s. So, welcome to the danger zone, as they say in the 80s song. All right. Shout out to Carl from the Moon. Shout out to El Hijo de Dios, the Son of God. En español, sí, señorita, en señor, yo tengo un gato en mis pantalones en mi cocina, la cocina, in the kitchen, baby, where we make hamburguesas y papas fritas y tacos. Sí, señor, es mucho bien. Me encanta los tacos. Bet you guys didn't know I knew Spanish either. Shout out to Crypto Coons. Shout out to all the mods holding it down with the wrench. Okay. Yeah, shout out to y'all. Okay, so yeah, that is, you know, down to the low 70s in the moonshot. That really is what I'm hoping for. Okay? I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for that. That's really what I'm hoping for. Okay, let's see how this little bit of a bounce that could turn into a retrace, that could turn into a squeeze of hundreds of millions of shorts plays out, man. All right. Yeah, bro is fluent in super Spanish. Sí, el hijo de Dios. He knows, man. He knows my Espanol is on point, baby. He knows it's on point. All right. Shout out to Bitcoin Mowgli. Shout out to Bitcoin Mowgli. This is a scary story of how Trump dumped the markets. It is pretty crazy, actually, how Trump dumped the markets. Let's listen to this beat from Bitcoin Mowgli.
Whatever you do it 100%. When you work. When you laugh. When you eat.
Oh, wow. Arpeggios, baby. Wow. Wow. Here we go. Hey yo, it's a story about my man Donald Trump. Gave a little speech and then the price starts to dump. Hopefully we go sideways then slump, cause you know we're coming back to the top for the pump. Got the gas, price is going fast. Hopefully we don't end up coming in last. Getting to the top, you know you drive fast. You gotta go past the people getting last. You know we're fasting every single day. We don't eat no food cause we only taking trades. We give it to you straight, we never give it gay. You know we're so serious, you know we don't play. We got the danger zone down below. Talking about 70K now, what do you know? Got the Bears, and you know we got the Bulls. Trying to pump it, dump it, then what do you know? We got the CME gap 84.3 with the golden pocket, baby, better listen to me. We got the TA right here on the screen. If we get a bounce, if you know what I mean. When the week opens in about 4 hours, get the Bitcoin bulls coming out with some power. It's springtime, go outside and smell some flowers. You know you gotta build a nice big tower. Talking about the blue candle that's about to pump. Bitcoin, the opposite of Trump, cause we gotta take the blue candles and we turn them orange like Donald Trump in the diner eating porridge. Yeah, then he's busting through the door hinge, coming out with his good friend George. Talking about George W, cause don't you know all the presidents went to the same school. Skull and Bones got the 322. Talking about Harvard, man, what do it do? We got George W, we got Bill Clinton. Bitcoin price looking like she's Clinton. With the flint, with the sparks, got the fire. Don't you know the Bitcoin price is about to pump higher? And then we got it cause we're down to the wire. I play guitar, no Fender, just a Squire, cause I lost all my money, can't afford the Strat. Only got a Squire, what you think about that? Got the little amp with the nice overdrive. Bitcoin on my lungs, struggle just to stay alive. Oh man. That was a pretty good beat, Bitcoin Mowgli, thank you. Shout out to my man Bitcoin Mowgli in the house, alright? Yeah, guys, so that's pretty much what's going on, man, with the Bitcoin price action. Alright? God bless everybody in Jesus' name. Thank you guys so much for being here. Lord willing, we'll be here tomorrow. Like, subscribe, click the bell. And I gotta head out, guys. I got some stuff going on. I love all of you. I love all of you with the love of the Messiah. And I do pray that the Lord blesses each and every one of you. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.